Hey, everybody. Brandon Smith again, back with the Syrup City podcast, and as always, joined by my co host, Matt Vickers. Matt, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Brandon. How are you?
I'm doing so great. If you didn't know something about Matt, here's something that's cool about Matt. Matt once picked an orange from an apple tree and made the best lemonade that I've ever had. That's how great Matt is.
Dude, it is the bomb. I'm telling you.
And so I'm going to be throwing out some more of those each and every podcast, each and every week. You know, I heard once you once put out a fire with a gallon of gasoline.
I did. I also use pepper spray as meat seasoning.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
And he's been a legend from birth as well. Matt, when he was born, he actually drove his mother home from the hospital.
Yep. It's like driving Miss Daisy, baby, all day long.
So, anyways, I'm just honored to be sitting next to you in the same room and sharing this podcast with you.
As you should.
But anyways, so hey, you know what's crazy is we had a great podcast last week. Sam
Absolutely.
and Brian, they were really great. Shout out to Sam Quick and Brian Gaines. Hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for being on with us last week. But also, what I was going to say was crazy was I was looking on our Apple podcast, and we actually already have a 5-star review.
Get out of town.
I'm telling, I haven't even shared that with you yet.
No,
but
you didn't.
we have a 5-star, and they actually left a little review, a little comment, and I hadn't. I need to read it again, but it was very encouraging. I don't know who it is, but if you're listening, thank you. You are the man or the woman. I don't know who it was, but you're awesome, and we appreciate you.
Yes, we do.
And so that was cool.
Love.
And
Much
if you
love.
like the podcast, wherever you're listening, and again, we're going to go ahead and plug all of our platforms. We're on Podbean, and all you got to do is type in syrupcitypodcast.podbean.com to go watch it there or listen to it there. We're also on Spotify, Facebook, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. And for Apple, Spotify, and YouTube, all you have to do is type in Syrup City Podcast. Syrup City is one word. You can find it there. And then on Facebook, it's the Syrup City Podcast. We have a page there, and our podcasts are uploaded there. Every episode is always on Fridays at noon. It's a great way to end your week and get into the weekend, and a great podcast for you to gather around with your family, whether it be at the dinner table or if you're just doing your laundry, and you can just sit there and listen to us and interview some great people. And just like last week, we interviewed Sam and Brian. It was so great to have them on. This week, we actually have a little bit more of a relaxed podcast. When you say Matt, when you say it's a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah, I've already got my shoes off and everything.
Well, I don't know if it was relaxed in that manner, but okay.
So I need to put them back on.
I was wondering what was stinking in here.
Dude, the toe jam is real.
Oh, my word. Okay. But the reason it's more relaxed, we're going to have a little bit more fun because we have some really good friends with us here. Actually, one is not a friend. One's a blood relative of mine. He's
like a brother to you.
He's exactly like a brother. It is, in fact, my little brother, my youngest brother, Dillon Smith, in First Baptist Church's worship leader and a dear friend of mine, Cameron Crafts. Gentlemen, how is it going?
I'm going
Great.
So good to see you.
Going wonderful.
The
Oh, yeah.
enthusiasm is
I know,
real,
I
man.
know.
I love
Hey,
it.
I'm just glad I got introduced as brother this time.
Yeah.
because-
Oh, so funny story about
Yeah.
that. I this is the avenue you want to go down already? I got you.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I'll go down it. I'll
so-
put this baby in
I'm
drive.
taking my shoes back off.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's already relaxed, as you can tell. So what he's talking about was the last church I was at. I was ministering there. I really don't even remember how the story or how it all got brought up, but I was talking to somebody, and my brother and my Dillon and my other brother were standing there, and they asked us, they're like, who is this? And I was like, it was something ministry related because I was in youth pastor mode, and I just, without missing a beat, I just turned and said, these are two of my students.
Yeah, we don't even get introduced as brothers. Just these are two of my students.
I never totally realized, like, oh, these are my two brothers. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, these are two of my students. And then as soon as I said it, I realized what I said, but it was too late because my two brothers looked at me and they're like, really? Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's what we're going?
That's how it is.
You're
And then
a
my
man.
other brother, Andrew, he was like, yeah, we're also, brothers to him. We're
Yeah.
actually related to the guy. So, yeah, okay. Well, that's thanks for bringing that up. So,
Yeah, no problem.
gonna be good.
yeah, it's going to be a good podcast. I'm excited about this whole conversation and what we're about to get into. But we are actually we all like to hunt and fish in the room. Some of us have been doing it longer than others. But we all have some cool, interesting stories. And that's kind of what we want to talk about. We want to talk about fun, interesting stories because I know a lot of people who listen, whether it be in the Lakeland area or the Grady County, the Care area, the Syrup City area, and then even people listening in Alabama, the Slocum area. Is it? Did I say it right?
Yes.
Good. All right. Good. I know there's people that hunt and fish, and so it's just more of a relaxed, have fun, kind of entertaining type podcast. And so, I think, a way to start it is, what did you? I guess I'll go to Cameron. What did you do first? Did you start hunting, or did you start fishing, or did you started doing both?
I think I started fishing first.
Started fishing first.
Yeah, because see, we grew up on a pond, a little pond out in the country on Collins Road for all the Grady County folks. Collins Road, that's where I grew up. Little pond. So I guess as soon as I was able to pretty much walk, or maybe just be toted down. Is toted a word?
Toted, yeah.
I
Sure.
think that's a good word.
It is now.
Toted.
Yeah.
I was toted down there, and I was fishing then. So I was fishing first, and
Okay.
then I started hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dylan?
I gotta be honest. I probably be hunting first.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
say we probably grew up hunting first.
Yeah, our
Would-
old property, Notchaway, with
Yeah.
everyone on there.
Well, I still appreciate. I'm more of a hunting guy first before I'm a fishing guy. I don't know about you, Matt. I don't know if you prefer one or the other.
I prefer hunting.
I actually prefer fishing.
Yeah.
Over just because like most of my family didn't really ever hunt.
You're
I mean,
probably an
it's-
Auburn fan too, aren't you?
the greatest. So for us, I love a good old pond catfishing style kind of trip.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, I definitely would prefer that. I love to be outside in a hunt. I love what all goes into that, but at the same time, I'd much rather have a fishing pole in my hands.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I guess for me, for hunting, what I realize is not every time you go out you're gonna see something.
Yeah.
I guess it goes with fishing too. Not every time you go out you're gonna catch something. But with hunting, it's always just being out and with fishing too. But just being out in God's creation, there's something about seeing a sunrise and sitting in the woods and just knowing that there's at any opportunity there's a moment where the buck of your life could walk out. And so hasn't happened to me in a while, but I'm still holding on. I still go every year. So, but it's changed now. Now that you have, now once you start having kids, the dynamic starts changing.
Right.
I'll never forget that just this past season, Kinsley was probably just 6-7 months old, and Jesse and I we decided hey, let's just get away. Let's go. My grandfather has a place, some land in Middle Georgia, and we went up there, and it was just the three of us, and we took our dogs up there as well. And I said, you know what? The first deer I see, I want to shoot because I just want to see how Kinsley's going to react. And lo and behold, we get there on a Thursday night, Friday morning, the very first hunt. A nice, didn't have it on camera, 8-point walks out, and I was like, you just couldn't write the script any better. And I ended up shooting him. He didn't run or anything. It was nice, quick and easy. And I remember Jesse and Kinsley, they come walking down from the camper because I wasn't hunting very far, and Kinsley just fell in love with. She was grabbing all over the deer, and it was just really cool. So now it's more so just making those memories with
Yeah.
your family, which is a lot of fun. And now Kinsley, she's got her own little fishing pole. Obviously, she's right at a year old, so she's just trying to figure things out. It's just getting her to hold it as an act of Congress, or not to throw it, or not put something in her mouth, or.
Yeah.
So it's
You're not supposed to taste the bait before you put it in the water.
well, it's funny though. If you catch a bass, the first thing she wants to do is to completely just stick her hand all the way down the fish's mouth. I'm
That's
like, what
awesome.
are you doing?
That's awesome.
But anyway, so and we'll go around the room or around the table, and we just kind of share your most interesting hunting or fishing story.
Oh, I
It can
got
be
both.
it can be either one. I don't know if I have a hunting story, but I'll get to that in a minute. But Cameron, I don't know. I don't know where you would want to start, whether it be fishing or hunting or what.
That's a good question, Brandon. I don't know where I need to start.
'Cause you have a lot.
I guess it depends on how funny you want it to be, and then maybe to some extent how graphic you want it to be,
Oh, hey.
because it can go either way.
Hey-o.
I would consider this podcast a
PG.
a PG podcast.
Okay, all right. So if it's PG, we'll start with my hunting career.
Okay.
Oh,
And this
Lord.
is my hunting career as of lately, not like when I was a kid. So something has happened the older that I get. And so I'm 37. I'll be 38 in June this year. And I've never had turkey fever, and I'm using this in parentheses here, not buck fever. And I do get buck fever pretty bad, but turkey fever like I have the past 2 years. Okay. So I have hunted turkeys I would say pretty successfully up to this point, since my best friend Ricky Lackey introduced me to turkey hunting, I have not been able to put down turkey hunting. So I have killed plenty of turkeys in my day. Not a problem. I can hit stuff with a shotgun, or at least I thought I could. Okay. Well, last year I got into a slump, and I started either wounding the turkeys or just missing the turkeys. The closer they get, the more likely chance they have at getting away. The further they are with a shotgun, I can hit them, but the closer they get, the worse my accuracy is. Okay. And so last year, the season started out really good. Opening day at the Collins property there, called in a bird all by itself, 25 yards, whiffed. I watched the wad fly by the turkey's head at 25 yards. So 2 shots later from my gun, and 2 shots, which was 3 total, 2 shots later from my buddy's gun, probably there was about 80 bucks of lead or tungsten shot at this turkey, and we never brought this bird in. Okay, he got away. All right.
Didn't nick him with a single.
Didn't hit him with nothing.
That's a shotgun, though.
A shotgun. Dillon, that's what I thought. It's so easy with a shotgun. I'll take you hunting tomorrow, Dillon, and you're going to get your own dose of your own medicine. Okay. So anyway.
Probably laughing the whole time at you guys.
All right.
Too.
So that was Saturday. And later, so the following week, which was I think on a Thursday or Tuesday, I can't remember, me and Ricky go to another property. We get on a bird, and we know where he's roosted at. The bird, Ricky is telling me the whole time, the bird is going to fly down off the roost and he said, Cameron, he is going to land on the end of your barrel. I have been hunting my whole life. Never has that happened. Well, what did the turkey do? He flew off the limb, and he flew straight to my barrel. 20 yards.
Did you shoot him?
20 yards. I had a red dot sight at this point. I had spent some money because I was pretty mad about the first hunting day experience. So now I've wasted money, and I got a red dot. I've never aimed a red dot at a turkey in real life before until this point, and the whole dot covered up the turkey. I couldn't even see the turkey. I was blinded by the light of my gun. So I just pick a place and just pull the trigger because that just makes sense, you know. I shoot, and the bird flies away, immediately away. Ricky looks at me in disgust, my best friend, who we've hunted together pretty much our whole life since 5th grade. And I said, dude, I just pack up. I'm leaving. I'm done. I can't take any more of this stuff, you know. Ricky pressures me into staying. We stay. Long story short, we go down to look at where I shot at the turkey at, and we start finding feathers in the woods.
Oh.
And Ricky's like, you did hit the bird. I said, I told you I hit that bird, man. There's no way I could miss that bird at 25 yards. Start seeing some feathers. He said, I think we need to walk down in the woods, you know, figure it out, see if we can find anything. We walk in the woods, and we're standing there talking, and all of a sudden we hear something. We look up, and the bird is roosted above us in the tree, and he flies down and hits the ground, and he starts running. So now the hunt it's on.
It's escalated.
By the way, I did run track in high school, so I can run fairly fast. All my turkey gear on, I'm running after this bird through the woods with a loaded shotgun chasing this bird. I shot a few more times and apparently didn't hit the bird, or maybe I hit the bird, and I tripped over a barbed wire fence. I fell. My gun crashed in the dirt. I knocked my gun off sight, but I finally did catch up with the bird. I wound up shooting the turkey point blank and still couldn't kill it. He got up and started running again, so I tackled the turkey, and I'm riding it like an ostrich. If you ever seen the Goonies or whatever, no, was it the Goonies? What was the show? Maybe the Goonies. I don't know. They ride an ostrich. That doesn't seem right. Anyway, just imagine somebody riding an ostrich, and that's what I was doing to this turkey. And so this is how the hunt ended. I had to choke the turkey barehanded because I ran out of bullets, and I threw my gun down, and I don't know where it was at. And so Ricky comes up, and I am literally choking this turkey to death because I have no more option. I'm done. I don't have any bullets.
Didn't have a knife on you or anything?
My knife was somewhere, Dillon. I don't know where it was at. Probably, who knows? Might have fell out. I don't know. I did have a knife. I normally do. But anyway, so just here lately, that's how actually I killed 2 turkeys last year, and both of the turkeys I killed, exact same scenario. They ended with a foot chase, which I won, and I beat them both to death with my hands, bare hands. So I kind of feel like David in the Bible. I killed a bear and a lion with my bare hands. I killed a turkey with my bare hands after I shot it, though. So that's how my hunting's going. This year it's no different. It's starting out the same way. So if I can't get my hands on one this year.
I'm still laughing at the fact he put a red dot sight on a shotgun.
Well,
Hey,
He pulled a Call of Duty.
Dillon, don't hate. Dillon, don't hate.
Matt, I think that about wraps up the podcast.
Thanks for joining in.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Go find a turkey. Choke it or something.
I guess what I'm getting at is if you can go and buy you a butterball, it's a lot easier and
There you
cheaper.
go.
Just go to the store and buy you a butterball.
I'm down with that.
What's gonna happen is people are going to email us at serpcitypodcast1@gmail.com. Shameless plug there.
Sure.
But people are gonna start emailing us like, hey, people even that may not know Cameron, like, hey, can we go turkey hunt with that guy? I just want to go and experience that.
We set up a trip.
Yeah.
We can start chartering.
You
That's
start
okay.
doing like guide services.
I could do guide service.
Oh, man.
It would be the best, most unsuccessful guide service ever.
Turkey
But-
hunt,
It would
track
be
and field.
awesome. I guarantee you'll have a good time.
Even if you don't kill a turkey,
You're
you're gonna be entertained.
But you have
Yes.
to be somewhat in shape because there may be a foot race.
There's going to be a
Just
foot
saying.
race. There is. There will be.
And you have to watch at least one movie of Rambo.
There you
Like,
go.
just watch
Yes.
Rambo at least
Bring
once.
One
face
time.
paint.
Yeah.
One time.
Bring face paint.
Yeah. It's like, all right, here's your shotgun, here's your camo, here's your war paint, here's your machete, here's your boxing gloves. You're gonna need that. Don't
Yeah.
wear camo boots. Here's some track shoes.
Yes, track shoes.
You're gonna need those.
You'll need that Rambo knife. That was a cool knife. I did like that knife.
It's just like, man, what kind of turkey hunting adventure am I going on? Hey, I tell you what, the Outdoor Channel would pay for that.
That's
they
exactly
would
right.
pay
That
to
would be
see that.
hilarious.
I would love to see that on camera. Like that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I could film your next
You
hunt.
could. You could.
It'd be like the scene off of like Live PD. Like I'm just running behind him, just with the camera. The
Can we
camera's
get
going
one of
in.
that? What do they call those things? Can we get them? The police? What is it? The body cams.
Oh yeah,
That's what we need.
No.
You can just get a GoPro.
If
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have
GoPro.
if anybody has a spare body cam, just email
We got a,
Brandon.
we got a
Yeah.
GoPro we can use.
Yeah.
We got the
GoPro.
chest mount.
Oh, it
too.
does?
It's got the
Ah,
chest mount. You strap
that's what we
around,
need.
So.
There you go.
Hmm.
You just
I like that idea.
no, because then Cameron, what happened is he wouldn't be able to catch the turkey, and that would be the heaviest thing he could throw near him. He'd
That's true.
Rip it off and just throw it at the turkey.
That is
So,
true.
Yeah, that would man. All right, well now that everybody on the podcast is interested in going hunting with Cameron, there you go. You just started your own guide service
Yeah.
now.
I like
But
it.
cool. All right, well Dillon, that's gonna be a hard one to
Yeah,
back up.
I don't
So
know
why
if
don't
I
you go?
can top that
Why
one.
don't you go for it?
Oh man, hunting or fishing?
It's all on you, man.
Oh man.
If you don't tell the one hunting one, I'll tell it.
No, I'll tell it. I'll
Okay.
tell- I'll
No,
tell it.
I guess you're telling it then.
Actually, no. I'll tell the other Andrew story about the hog.
No, you tell the other one. I'll tell that one just because that one's a little bit more personal for me. So you
That
go
was
ahead.
funny though. We were on the pecan orchard, weren't we? Back on Merritt's property.
Yeah, well, that doesn't matter. We were going towards another creek stand, but yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. Well, we were just out on the golf cart riding around. It was just us three, and I think Andrew was the only one that had the rifle with him.
Yeah, you got to
But-
set the tone or set the setting. It was the middle of the rut in South Georgia.
I was also getting
Thanksgiving week, and it just rained all morning, all day. It's about 2:00 in the afternoon, and it finally at 2:05 it stopped raining. So me, Andrew, and Dillon decided we're gonna get on the golf cart, grab a rifle, because I feel like right after this, it was a heavy rain, and as soon as it stops, these deer are gonna be up and moving.
We did see like 4 bucks that day.
Oh
too.
yeah, see, I
It was
mean,
like the open
way off
field.
in the distance, some massive bucks. I mean, you could see the rack as they're running away. I was like,
Yeah.
man, they're already up and moving. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, we start driving around and we come up to behind one of this stand. I forgot what it was called. I think it was called the bridge stand or something
Yeah.
that we had. And as soon as we pull up to it, we see this big old buck just like walk out about 75 yards.
Yeah, he's good. He was probably 130, 140 inch, 40-inch deer. It was good. He
It
just
was,
walked right onto the open area where we were. I'm driving. Dillon's on the back. Andrew, of course, is riding passenger, but he's the one shooting.
yeah,
That's what he
Andrew
told me.
always takes a gun no
Yeah,
matter what.
he's
He
the one
always takes a gun.
shooting. I'm the one driving, and he was like, "Stop."
And I will say, he did have a good shot on the buck. I'm not going to lie. He had
Yeah.
a good shot.
What do you? It was you
It-
couldn't have
it-
gotten any
well,
better.
Yeah, okay, that's true. But as soon as he shot it, we all knew that it was going down.
No, it did. It dropped. So we set up we creeped up as close as we could on the golf cart. It was just sitting there eating in the open area. We stopped. Andrew and I kind of easy get out. Dillon's real young, so we're trying to be like 2 big brothers. We're like, you just cover your ears and you stay in the golf cart. we're doing some man stuff, all right? And so Andrew shoots, and I didn't think we were gonna see a deer the whole time. We'd already seen a lot of deer. He shoots, the buck just drops. And Andrew and I and Dillon, we're going nuts. We're high-fiving. We're hugging each other. This is a big moment for us. And
Well, we walked up to the deer.
no. We ran
Yeah,
to the deer.
okay,
We
that's
left the golf cart in the middle of the field. We were so excited. Left the golf cart in the middle of the field, and we just start running after this thing. Right? We get there. He's not 100% dead.
He's like
he's
moving
kicking around,
his head a
but
little
like
bit.
if you would have saw this deer, I mean, it's a nice buck. I'm standing like I'm feet away from him, and Dylan and I were all high fiving.
There was also
we're
another
hugging each other. Yeah, he's bleeding out. We're like, okay, he's gonna be fine. So we call my dad, and Dad was like, he'd already called me, and I call him back. He's like, was that you that shot?
We
and I
walked
was like,
away
yeah.
from the deer after we called.
I was like, yeah, Andrew shot. And I was like, he just shot a massive buck. And my dad and a guy, family friend of ours named Big Country, he was up there. And he was like, they're like, awesome, we'll bring the truck by. And we told him where we were. And so I was like, Andrew, we got to go get the golf cart. And so we run, all three of us run. I don't know why one person didn't stay. We're young, we're dumb. So all three of us run back to the golf cart. And we go and we drive it back. In the 20 seconds it took for us to run to the golf cart, drive it back, deer was gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
Disappeared. I don't know. How it
Completely gone. And so, of course, at the perfect appointed time, Dad pulls up, and he's like, "Where's the deer?" I was like, "Well, he was right there." And like you can see the blood trail, and actually, goes off into the woods. And Dad's like, "Well, he's bleeding really good." And I was like, "Yeah, we should find him." 4 hours into the night.
Oh,
I mean, longer than 4 hours. Way longer than that. We ended up bringing a buddy of ours with a bloodhound, a tracking dog, and out there till 10 o'clock at night. Still to this day, have no idea where that deer is.
Yeah.
Gone. The craziest thing. My dad doesn't believe us.
No, it was a big deer, and like the property wasn't that big to like lose a deer in. Like,
I mean, the property was big, but that area where we were at was not that big.
Yeah, that area was small.
It was so crazy.
Now, when was this?
This was
last year?
No.
Okay, just wondering.
No, I don't know. I had to have been probably 15 or 16, so that put them
I
younger
was
than
probably
that.
like 9.
Yeah, so, but it was like, that was our moment. Like, we were,
Yeah.
and it just crumbled right in front of us. So, but.
Because you all had to run back to the golf cart.
Well, we just had the adrenaline going.
Yeah.
We were
That's
excited.
true. I guess I'm just lazy, so like I'd be the guy just driving the golf cart.
Panic situation.
Yeah.
Our IQs plummeted. We didn't
we didn't.
know what to do.
What would you have done if you would have been there though, and the deer just got up? Would you have been brave enough like me to jump on his back, and, like try to cut his throat or
Probably
something?
not. I would have
No.
just been in awe. I'd be like, Andrew, the deer's gone.
The deer's leaving.
I don't
Hey,
know.
you need to shoot it again. The deer's leaving.
He gone.
That was the first thing my dad said. He's like, why didn't you shoot him again? I'm like, we didn't think he was leaving.
This is a good.
Thought he was hanging out.
This is a good rule of thumb teaching moment for all you hunters out there. Okay, it doesn't matter what you hunt: deer, turkeys, squirrels. I don't care. Whatever you hunt, crows, whatever. I don't care. Okay, this is the good rule of thumb. My father taught me this at a very early age. If you shoot it and it's still moving on the ground, does a bullet really cost like 50 cents, 80 cents, $1, whatever? Shoot it again.
Pop
Yeah.
a cap
I know
in
that
him again,
I know
boy.
that sounds very inhumane.
Yeah.
But still, go ahead and be safe. Shoot him again and just be done with it. Don't
Didn't
let
you
the
shoot
deer.
at a turkey 3 times?
I will unload my gun, Dillon. If it was legal to load 10 shells in it, I'd load 10 shells in it, and I would shoot until I was out of shells.
Yeah.
Because that's just me. That's why I don't shoot an over and under at turkeys. It's got 2 bullets. I need more than 2 bullets.
Yeah. But I was also going to say, too, there's also the reverse side of it as far as, having enough bullets or whatever. So there's a story that Dylan was going to tell that I'll go ahead and share. So we were hunting at the same hunting property that he was just talking about. And my grandfather and our other brother, Andrew, this is our famous hog story that all of our family and friends have heard numerous times, and even some people up here have heard it before. But anyways, they're hunting together,
It's a famous story.
and we are all hunting in our different places, and all of a sudden we hear boom, and we knew it was them. About 10 seconds later, boom. Okay, about 5 seconds later, boom, and then it was like boom, boom, boom. I'm like, what is going on?
Sound like a war zone over
Yeah.
there.
So we texted them, and it's like, who are y'all fighting over there, And they're like, y'all just come over here. And so I'm like, okay. And so we get there, and I drive up. They're hunting in a stand that it overlooks like this. Well, it doesn't overlook it, but it's this pecan orchard, and you can see down all these rows and stuff. We had it set up kind of perfect to where you could see down a bunch of these rows. And anyways, we get down there, and my brother Andrew, he was like, "Man, we just shot a hog, a massive hog, like a big boar hog." And I was like, "Oh, sweet, cool." And Grandpa by that time, he's walking up too, and he was like, "Yeah, we just shot a big old hog." And so I'm there first, and so I'm kind of doing the investigating. I felt like I was like part of the FBI, and so I'm like, "All right, which way did he go?" I kid you not, I cannot make this up. I said, "All right, which way did he go?" Without missing a beat and in unison, Andrew points to the right. My grandfather points to the left. I mean, in complete opposite directions. They both point two opposite directions. And then they're both kind of looking at each other confused. And I was like, okay, so we have no idea where this deer or this hog went. And I said, all right, let's take it back from the beginning. And they're like, okay. And Andrew's like, well, he came out to the left, and we was there, and I shot, and he ran about 2 rows into the pecan orchard, and he just laid down. And I was like, where did he lay down? He's like, right there, right under that pecan tree. And I was like, okay. So I go over there. There's not a hoof mark. There's not hair. There is not a drop of blood under this tree. And I was like,
has not moved.
I was like,
from that tree.
right here? And like, it doesn't look like there's a leaf out of place on the ground. And they're like, yeah, right here. I was like, Andrew, there's not even a hoof mark over here. And he was like, I'm telling you, he ran right here. I was like, well, what happened when he stood right here? They're like, he goes, we shot him again. And I was like, okay. And he goes, and he turned and he ran this way. And he goes, and when he turned, his other side was showing to us. He goes, everything was just spewing out. His all this stuff. And I'm trying to keep it G for the podcast. He goes, but you can kind of use your imagination. And I was like, okay. And he goes, and he went under that oak tree. There's an oak tree on the corner of this property. He's like, he went under the oak tree and he laid down. I was like, oh, he laid down. And I was like, oh, if he laid down, surely there's something over there. Kid you not. Walk over to the oak tree, not a hoof mark, not a drop of blood, not a piece of hair, nothing. And so I was like, Andrew, I'm really starting to lose confidence in this story. And he's like, Brandon, I am telling you. And so they go on and on and on. And to this day, my brother and my grandfather, they will try to sell us on this hog. I don't think the hog was there. I don't know if they had done something right before. I don't if they hallucinated. I'm still not sure what happened.
I think they saw too many squirrels.
I never saw the hog. I don't know. It was.
And how long ago was this one?
This was around
the same year.
around the same time.
Yeah.
A couple years probably difference between all
And
that.
how old is Andrew?
He's a cop now, too.
He's a cop. He's 21.
21, yeah.
21.
Does he get to carry a gun?
Yeah.
As a cop?
Yep.
Yeah.
My man. Never give up. Never give up.
So yeah, I maybe we'll have him on the podcast one day. I'd like to hear his side of it all these years later because it still hasn't sold me on it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Matt, I don't, do you have any? I mean, we've heard some crazy stuff.
I don't have anything like you guys, man. I live a boring life apparently.
Oh, man.
Jeez, the only thing I've ever done was hook my brother in the ear fishing.
Ooh.
Oh, we've done that.
Yeah, like that's all. That's the only fun.
That's pretty
I've had.
bad though.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't fun.
With a
No,
treble
it
hook?
was terrible.
Oh, Brandon.
Like one of them
Ugh.
fat daddy, like long
I don't-
bangalores or something.
I don't even
Yeah.
remember, man. I just remember coming back,
Oh man.
went forward, and nothing happened.
Bird
Oh.
nest.
That-
Bird nest city, baby.
That makes my whole body quiver up. Ugh.
Yeah, that's.
You ever hooked yourself?
Yeah.
No, I was
okay.
just about to say, knock on
No.
wood, I've never hooked myself.
Oh.
I have.
Not
have.
casting. I've
No.
hooked myself plenty of times, like
Retro-
baiting a hook or something, but I've never not
Oh, no.
casting. You'd be pretty bad to. Oh, I'm not.
Not
I'm not offending
casting.
anybody fishing.
Okay.
Not
Any
casting.
fishermen listening. I was gonna say you have to be pretty bad to hook yourself on your own. I didn't mean that in a harsh way.
I didn't do it casting though. I was fishing with top water in on Lake Lanier when I lived up in Atlanta. It was not a good day, apparently, fishing. Me and my buddy Tyler, we were up there, and I used to live up there, and I was fishing with a top water plug, and it's called a Sammy top water plug. They are very expensive, like $18 to $20 top water
Jeez.
floating lure. So when you get hung, with a $20 lure, you get the lure out. You
got that
don't
right.
break that lure off.
Yeah.
Okay. So I threw it and I got hung, and I'm snatching it back and forth, getting a little bit flustered that my lure's not coming out. And then all of a sudden, like a 308 shot right out of a gun, it flies out and it's going right for my eyes. I'm watching it. Y'all, I couldn't move. I just stood there. I just took it like a man. I just stood there and turned my cheek, and it slapped me right on the face, like on the left side of my face. It hooked me like right near the corner of the eye, in the cheek, and in the like right there where my lip is at. It was great. Great times. By the way, those hooks are very sharp. Yamagatsu, man, they are some sharp hooks, man.
All I use.
Yeah. I switched to Trocar, and those hooks are just straight. Oh,
No.
they're sharp. They'll
I hate
mess you
trocar.
up.
I've lost too many fish on trocar.
Have you hooked yourself? Is that what you said, Matt?
A little bit.
Uh-oh.
Never taken one to the face though.
Man.
Cameron, we need to hang out more.
Don't
man.
do that, Matt.
Oh, God.
Don't do
I
that.
tell you what, when Cameron and I go fishing together, I'm always excited to go, just because I know it's gonna be funny and it's gonna be an adventure. There was a time where Cameron and I were fishing on a friend of ours' property. He's got a nice pond out there, and we're fishing on this boat. And lo and behold, this always seems to happen when we go. But I got something stuck in the bushes, and
A lure.
stuck in the
Yeah.
bushes. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, it was like, I think it was a whopper plopper, and so it had open treble hook, so
Yeah.
that joker wasn't coming off.
My favorite bait.
And I'm sitting there, and I'm like trying to get it out of the bushes. I'm trying to get it out. And finally, I was like, Cameron, I'm sorry, because Cameron normally drives the boat when we go. And I was like, Cameron, you're just gonna have to drive over
And we
there
were
and
catching
get-"
fish though in that spot.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
yeah. And
You
so
didn't wanna
Like we didn't want to
disrupt it.
mess
yeah,
it up.
so I was like, I'm sorry, Cameron. I was like, we're just gonna have to go over there. And I was like, I'm not letting go of this whopper plopper. This is an expensive lure.
Got that right.
And so he gets over there, and I'm reaching my hand in the boat. And people that are listening probably know where the story is going. But I reach my hand in there, and all of a sudden, I know what I heard. I heard, and I was like, oh no. And I looked down, and coiled up at the base of this bush is, yep, you guessed it, a snake. And I was convinced it was a rattlesnake. Cameron, upon further investigation, because I get my whopper plopper out, and I'm with snakes. I'm like, let's get the heck out of here.
Yeah.
And so he backs away. Little do I know, he's turning the boat around so that he can go into the bushes to be Steve Irwin and investigate this more. And so he backs into it. He's like, oh, no, man, and mind you, this snake is losing its ever-loving mind down there. I was like, this snake is going to come into the boat. And I said, Cameron, I'm going to fight you when the snake gets in here. And he's like, oh, no, that ain't no rattlesnake. It's a water moccasin. I said, even more of the opportunity to get out of here. I said, because if that thing bites us, that's it. I'm going to have to call Jesse and say, I love you, babe. It was a great ride.
It's been
make it.
real.
It's been real. So,
Wigham's a long way from the hospital, by the way.
yeah, we were in Wiggum.
Out there.
Yeah.
So do y'all like? I'm gonna have to ask. Do y'all like the Whopper pop?
Oh, I love
Yes.
I love whopper poppers.
So I bought one.
I caught a 6.5 off of it.
Really?
At
I bought
Seminole.
one and went and met my dad, and my brother over at the river in Alabama, and I took. You remember you put that line on that reel for me the
Yeah.
night before because I didn't have time to even put line on it, and I get out there, throw it once. I'm like, okay, that thing's pretty cool looking. Throw it a second time. There's no whopper plopper.
Oh, I told you about that.
That's the best.
Nothing. Like I have no clue.
Uh-oh.
Second cast, nothing.
Where'd it go?
I have no idea.
Oh, it lost.
All I know is I went to throw it. I got a bird nest
Oh.
and there's nothing. I have no clue.
I've done that before on a chatterbait, and I think it was because my line was frayed and I didn't tie the knot in there good enough. But yeah, all of a sudden I cast it, and I was like, man. And it didn't dawn on me what had happened because I'm watching my chatterbait. I mean, it is soaring through the air. And I was like, dude, that's my best and longest cast ever. I'm like, look at that. That thing is flying. And I was like, it's still going. And then it hits the water like ways and ways. And then I click the reel over, and I'm reeling it back up. And I was like, chatterbait seems kind of light.
Gone.
Reel the line back up,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Gone.
chatterbait flew forever.
No.
Yeah. So,
So I didn't get to experience what they're like.
Oh.
They're fun.
I had one
They're
cast.
fun.
Like
One cast.
maybe 15
When they
yards.
get-
That one cast felt good, though, didn't it?
It's like it's just a little short 15-yard, but I
Felt
mean,
good.
oh man.
hey, come
that's pretty
soon, like summertime, and the topwater bite starts heating up. It's gonna be
I'll
crazy.
have to buy another one.
Yes.
Get ready.
Hey, I will tell you a story though. I forgot what. It was in one of the tournaments I was in, and I can't remember the name of the lake I was on, but it was a tournament we came in second place in. It was actually a very good tournament for us, And me and my partner Jeffrey, we were in this one canal, and he didn't hook me on his hook set. We were standing so close on the front of the boat because I just netted a fish for him, and he was throwing a wacky rig underneath the dock, and he flipped it right under there. And he goes, "Oh, bro, I got one. I was like, "Oh, sweet." So I set my rod down. I grabbed the net, and as soon as I turn and go back up, he sets it, catch me right in the forehead, and I fall back. I'm like, "Oh gosh."
Oh,
and
jeez.
and then he continues to yell at me. He says, "Get up and net the fish." I'm like, "I have a concussion now."
What are you doing? This isn't a time to take a nap. So,
Win
I
a
was like-
tournament. God.
yeah. Speaking of fishing tournaments, I want to go ahead and let everybody know, people who are listening, whether it be Cairo, Alabama, Florida, the Florida High School Fishing Bass Nation. Did I say that right?
Yep.
Florida High School Bass Nation. Their state championship, as of right now, tentatively, is June 12th through the 14th, and they're fishing Lake Seminole out of Bainbridge. And the director is Glenn Cale. He's become a good friend of our family and of me as well. And so, Glenn, if you're listening, I want to have you on the podcast right before that tournament, or maybe the weekend of. So if you're listening, I would love to have you on. Just reach out to me, and we'd love to have you on. So that'd be cool. So if you're into fishing and you're in the Grady County area and you want to see some of the best high schoolers in the state of Florida
Come support
come
your
up to
boy.
Georgia, come over there and watch. June 12th to the 14th is when their date is. And I tell you what, I've been over there and I've seen some of their tournaments all across the state of Florida. And and they're coming up here. They've actually fished Bainbridge before, or
Yeah,
fished Seminole before, and
Fish Seminole this season.
yeah, and it's a super cool experience to see some of the best
Mm-hmm.
in high school do it. And so it's cool though, is like it's around this time where I put all the hunting stuff up, and I just like gear up for fishing. So I'm excited. I think
Support your boy at
think-
the weigh-ins.
the bite is fixing to turn on a
It
lot.
should be. It's muddy right now.
Yeah,
My daddy-in-law, he's got a good report. He's there now. It's very muddy and high.
it's money.
Yep.
Has any of that
He's a
grass
Seminole
on,
right now.
A little bit, yeah. It's growing.
Yes,
it
he is.
grows year round.
Okay.
Yeah, on Seminole. Sorry, but
because I remember there was like
it's
that
not
mustard
topped
grass.
out yet, like mustard grass. No,
Yeah.
it's not out yet. But hydrilla and stuff, and whatever that other grass is, I don't know.
Wait, eelgrass?
I don't know. I don't.
All right,
all I
never
know is it's grass and it gets on a hook. And,
It's annoying.
and if you fish Lake Seminole, it's 38,000 acres of grass.
Oh,
and so
hydrilla?
it does
I
get
hate
annoying. And hydrilla. Yeah.
Yeah.
Golly. When I fished with Tyler, that's all I caught him. Well, besides the one fish I caught him the whopper plopper. Every cast without whopper plopper was hydrilla.
Yeah.
Hydrilla.
bad.
Hydrilla.
Bad.
Yeah.
But if you do fish Seminole right now, the bite is good for brim and so bluegills, but also the red ear sunfish
But we need bass.
is on, buddy, like Donkey Kong right now. It is on. Okay. So if you like shell cracker,
Oh,
that's what's going on right now
He
little
brought-
ultralight.
on Seminole. So get ready. Yep.
That's-
And the bass bite's
Yeah.
been pretty good, and the
Ye-
speckled perch has been
I like a good ultralight
exceptional
fishing.
right now.
Yeah, there's your ultralight partner.
I love
know.
it.
I love it too. I'm an ultralight fanatic.
I love
Love it.
Never
Yeah,
done
when Cameron and I go fishing at that one pond, they have pretty good speckled perch. You catch it on the right day, you can fill a cooler with speckled perch. But we'll go and I'll be bass fishing off one side of the boat, and like he'll have his ultralight on the other side, and then finally when the bass bite slows down enough, I know when it's coming, because Cameron will be like, he'll hand me another ultra. He always brings two, and he hands you one. He's like, here, we're gonna start trolling.
There you go.
And so we just go back and
Yeah,
forth.
have fun.
Yeah.
Just troll, do nothing. Sit in the boat, just hold the rod and wait till something happens.
And
Catch
the-
it good, and it feels like a bass.
Well, in
to
the
me.
last couple times we've gone, he's hooked into a bass while
Yeah.
trolling. So,
Or
but
that stump that we hook into every
Yeah.
time.
there's one stump out there on this pond that's got about, I don't know, I would say about $500 worth of
At
lures
least.
on it.
At least. Yeah. If a stump could die of lead poisoning, it has died of lead poisoning from all my hooks and lures on that thing.
Between turkeys and stumps, they
That's
don't
it.
stand a chance
Yeah,
around
yeah.
Cameron.
That's all. But the fish are right there on that thing. If you want to get fish, you got to get near that
Feels like a
stump.
10-pounder every time I
Hey,
set the
you
hook.
know,
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the price you pay for,
It's always so
catching
funny
fish.
though, because like he'll snag it and he'll set the hook. Because I mean, it does feel like a fish. I'm not gonna lie. And he'll set it and he'll go, "Hey Brandon, guess what? There's that stump again." His line will just be-
another lure lost.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. So, anyways, switching sports actually for a second. So I don't know what the plans are yet, but as of Saturday, we're supposed to be going golfing, the four of us. But I don't know. I don't know what Cameron and Matt. I know Dillon and I are going, but I don't know if y'all have worked that out if y'all are going yet or
Ready
not.
to
But
crush you.
here's the thing. How is we talked about this before we started recording. How is your how is your golf game right now?
My golf game?
Yeah.
I guess it's non-existent. I hadn't played. I hadn't played in a while. I did play. I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago I played, and it was me and Adam Starr. Anybody out there know Adam, and Adam's dad, and Keith Harrell, and me and Scott Starr were playing Adam and Mr. Keith, and we did get beat. Come down to the final hole, last hole, 18th, and we choked, and Adam and them won. So by one stroke, they beat us.
Wow.
There. So it wasn't horrible, you know. Course was in good shape.
Yeah,
Playing good.
Shout out to Tire Creek Golf Course. If anybody that is working there or does work there or golfs
it's
there a
looking
lot,
really good.
shout out to Tire Creek Golf Course here in Cairo, Georgia. That place is looking fantastic right now. The greens are looking good. Fairways are looking fantastic. They've made a lot of changes, and like I said, I've only lived here 2.5 years, and it is a night and day difference from the moment I've first moved here to now. It is looking really, really good. So Matt's hitting the ball really well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that it?
I was just gonna let you keep bragging on me.
I did that at the beginning of the podcast. I'm
Oh.
letting you have your moment now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hitting the ball good. I'm definitely trying to get it back. I mean, I had my game for a while, and of course, for some of those who don't know, I actually worked at a golf course. I was an assistant superintendent before I came over here to Cairo, and so, the saying is if you want to quit playing golf, you join the business. Well, that's what I did.
Yeah.
And we were in construction and redoing greens and all that, so I actually got out of it for a while. So I'm starting to slowly get it back.
Yeah.
I'm ready for some warm weather to kind of get into golf season.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
we'll be getting it Saturday. I think
It's
Saturday's like the high 80.
Yeah, it's here now.
So,
Got that
but
right.
but anyways, yeah, we just wanted to jump on here and have a really relaxed kind of podcast and just get some good friends and relatives
Yeah.
around the table.
Not a student anymore.
Not a student anymore.
Appreciate
You
it.
have graduated.
Yeah, he graduated.
Gosh.
Which, speaking of graduation, Dillon's a senior in high school down in Florida, and he's living through the whole quarantine, coronavirus class of 2020.
Which I don't think I'm gonna even be here for my graduation.
Are y'all gonna do a drive-in graduation thing?
Well,
they talked about it.
They talked about it,
Did
but they also our superintendent at the school says I want my seniors to walk across the stage, but
Right on.
guess what?
But the
doing-
problem
what?
is they're supposed to do it at the end of June.
yeah,
And
I'm
June
leaving.
15th,
Oh.
Dillon leaves for Paris Island
that's right.
Boot
for
camp.
the Marine Corps for
Yeah.
boot camp. So, yeah, so
I mean, surely they'll let you come back. right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
pretty sure once you put your feet on those yellow
It's that-
footprints, you are
yeah.
now property of the United States
Yeah.
Marine Corps.
That is
There's no,
it.
there's no pretty sure to it. You do.
You are.
You belong.
So-
yeah, I am theirs.
Shout out to all the men and women who have served and are serving our
Absolutely.
country as
Yeah.
well. The Syrup City Podcast, we appreciate you very, very
Definitely.
much, and
Definitely.
takes a special kind of person to go and do that. So yeah, it'll be.
I told you.
Thanks, man.
I told,
he did.
Okay, so
He
I
did.
told Dillon walking up the stairs. We have in our family we have like a couple of generations of Marines.
Yeah,
And I told I was like, man, I'm just not man enough to join the service. Like I'm a wimp, man.
Yeah.
Like it takes a special person.
Absolutely.
It really does. And so I'll echo that for all of you who do serve. Dillon, thank you for what you're about to do. For us, we get to do what we're doing now because of the men and women who serve.
absolutely, 100%. Now I can kind of joke with the Marines a little bit because my dad was a Marine, and after seeing and I've met a lot of people, Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, you name it, all the branches of the military, and so, I mean, I could speak personally to the Marine thing because the Marines, they'll tell you that they're the baddest of the bad, things like that, and I always thought knowing who my dad is and then knowing his friends who are in the Marine Corps, I was like, it takes a special kind of person to be a Marine, but they also have that slight bit of craziness.
Oh,
Like
for
they're
sure.
they're a little crazy,
Duh.
and so
You
not
kinda
to
have to be right.
not to hate on my dad, but he's got it.
Yeah.
He's just slightly a little crazy. And then when I see Dillon getting to go to the Marine Corps, I'm like, yeah, he's got it. Yeah. But see, like all the Marines, when you say they got a slight bit of crazy, they actually take it as a compliment. They're
They're
like,
like,
you know
"Dude,
what? Thank
Dude,
you.
thanks,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, appreciate that. And I respect the mess out of all of them. So, anytime, and my dad always, it's kind of engraved in me now because I watch my dad do it, and my dad still does it to this day. And I want to encourage anybody listening to do this. If you're sitting somewhere at a restaurant or whatever it is, especially when things start to open back up, and you see somebody and they're wearing a hat. You see a lot of the guys, they'll say like Vietnam veteran or whatever veteran kind of deal. If you see them wearing a hat, shirt, whatever, just go up to them, and if you really want to make their day or just make their year, you just go up to them and say, hey, I appreciate your service. Thank you for serving.
Yeah.
And I watch my dad do that all the time. So now even in Cairo, I'll see guys or even people in our church, I'll see him wearing the hat or whatever, and I'll make it a point to go up to him like, hey, just thank you for your service.
Yeah.
And so it's just cool. So again, yeah, we appreciate all of you. And so yeah, hopefully you'll get to do your graduation. I don't know.
Yeah, I've look.
Do you want to though?
Dude, I've looked forward to my senior year since forever.
Well, I think everybody does. Yeah.
And like since my grad bash got taken away, my prom got taken away, I was really looking forward to graduation. And
see, I never could go to grad bash because it was always during baseball season.
oh yeah, I don't have that problem.
I don't know what grad bash is.
It's
Grad bash is like when all the high school or like seniors, they get together and they go to like Disney World or something.
yeah, but we were going
What?
to Adventure Island and Disney World.
Mm.
We
Yeah.
were going from 7 in the morning.
At night.
No, we were going from 7 in the morning and we are coming back 4 in the morning the next day.
Oh, see, they always did it throughout the night. So they always did it like you left at like 6 at night, and they got back at like 3, 4 in the morning. So my senior year, we had a district game, baseball game, and we all of our senior class, there was 5 of us senior guys on the baseball team, and none of us got to go because we had a baseball game, and so it was all the way down in Avon Park. People in Florida, you know where that is, and so we had a long, bus ride all the way to Avon Park, and guys, we drove to the school, so we had to get on the bus, go back to the school, and so by the time we got back after our game, it was like 11:30, midnight, and so what the 5 of us seniors decided to do, and if any of them are listening, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. What we decided to do, there was actually a police officer in the parking lot who was monitoring like all the other students, like cars and stuff, because they rode buses to grad bash. And we went up to him. We like knocked on his window. Well, he actually saw us coming before we knocked on the window. And he rolls his window down. And we were like, hey, we're actually going to stay here and wait for the other seniors to get back. Is that okay? He's like, yeah, sure. Just don't do anything dumb. And we're like, okay. And so we drove to Walmart and we bought some chairs, some like little like lawn chairs. It's 100% not made up. It's 100% real. This is something you do your senior year. And we bought hamburgers, buns, and hot dogs, and all the condiments. And we bought the cheapest grill that we could find, charcoal and a lighter. And we sat there. There's a little open area in the front of our school where the buses park. We just sat there and grilled out, and like had a little camp out. And we just waited till the rest of our friends that went to grad bash came back. And like 4 or 5 in the morning, or 6 in the morning, whenever it was, they got back. They all pull in, and we're just sitting there hanging out, having a good time.
Eating hamburgers at
yeah,
6 a.m.
Yeah, well, we were hungry, and so they were like, all of them, they're tired from having a good time, and they're like, what are y'all doing? I'm like, oh, we're hanging out, waiting on y'all, So, but yeah, I understand what it means to not have a grad bash. So
That's a lot better than what we got to do as seniors.
well, I will say that it wasn't over because our senior trip that our high school did every year, I don't know if they still do it anymore or not, but my high school, what we used to, senior trip, they would take 60 seniors, the first 60 seniors that paid for it or signed up, however they did it. We'd go to Key West for a week.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
our school just said, hey, you did the best you could. Good job.
Here's your diploma.
Welcome to Slocum.
Red top for life, baby.
Yes. Row Tide.
So, but anyways, all right. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
Thank you so much for just letting us have a relaxed, entertaining day. I'm sure people are either laughing at our hunting and fishing stories or they're scarred for life.
Yeah.
So we either gained a lot of followers or we just lost every single one. I'm
Yeah.
not so sure.
It is
We'll-
what it is.
We'll
man.
find
It
out
is.
next episode when they listen. So, hey, I want to go ahead and encourage you as we wrap up this podcast. Anybody that's listening, I want to encourage you. We have some great guests coming up in the next few weeks. I'm not going to give them away, but I want you to be prepared for that. So stay tuned in, stay subscribed
Michael Jordan.
wherever. No, we're not having Michael Jordan. I will go ahead and say that. But whoever you're listening, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, just subscribe to that. It's Syrup City Podcast. Syrup City is one word. You're also on Spotify and YouTube, and that's just Syrup City Podcast. And on Facebook, it's the Syrup City Podcast. And then you can go to syrupcitypodcast.podbean.com to find the podcast there as well. And so, again, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for tuning in. And every episode is uploaded Fridays, and they go live at noon or around noon. So, again, Dillon, Thank you so much.
no problem.
You're in town for a couple days, so we're gonna
Yep.
hang out. Hopefully, the golfing is good on Saturday.
Oh.
We'll see how it goes.
It's gonna be fun. It's
Yeah.
gonna be fun.
Cameron, as always, I enjoy experiencing the hunting and fishing stories. It's always good to hear them as well. And so, and plus, we work together. So
Yeah.
So we do that. And Matt, it
Yeah.
it goes without saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Matt. So,
Yeah. Okay, cool.
but
You
anyway,
did the best you could.
that was it. So, anyways, all right. So that's where you go to listen to us. Thank you again for tuning in to the Syrup City podcast, and I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you very soon.
See you guys.
All right. God bless.